Husam, I want to ask you a question. Is today the day that you apologize to Luis Diaz, who you abused, who you lambasted, who you've slagged off? Without him this season, you wouldn't be where you are in the league. He was majestic, clinical, dangerous again. Let's hear your opinion. Let's hear your apology for the slander against Luis Diaz. Let's go.
First of all, I haven't abused anyone, so let's calm that talk down. Abuse is a bit too far. And second of all, listen, apologies come after consistency. We're 5 games into the season. If Luis Diaz continues on this goal-scoring run, he's going to score 38 Premier League goals, breaking Erling Haaland's record. Do you think that's going to happen, Terry? Nope. So let's not go there. So listen, consistency is king. That's what we want more of. And at the end of the day, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm celebrating every single one of those goals. You know, I started saying Vamos Colombia today. Diaz is not someone I hate. The other guy I do hate, I'll be honest. But Diaz, I don't hate him like that. But I just don't rate him because last season he let us down when we needed him. However, today, much better performance than performance against Forest. I think the Forest game has been by far the absolute worst performance in the whole slot era from when we first watched, including preseason. Like, it was just so bad. This week is a lot better. You know, creatively.
Can I ask you a question just about that quickly on that thread? Do you think that the last 2 games have proven that the Forest game was no more than a bad day in the office and a blip?
I'll tell you that after next week. One more Prem game, and we go like, okay, guys, it was a blip. Because today, in moments, Bournemouth did create some danger in moments only, you know, which maybe in the long term could possibly hurt us. And this is the thing that I've always said. You know, me and Rax as well, I think, agree on this. People think that if we signed Zubimendi, it would have been Gravenberg or McAllister that go to the bench. That's not the case. And in case you guys realized today, by the way, Arne Slot was experimenting McAllister in the 10. I like he was playing McAllister. He played McAllister in the 10. He played Jones in the 10. And at the end, he played Salah in the 10 as well. He tried everything because he knows that Szoboszlai, listen, today we won 3-0, okay? So it's not negativity or anything, but at the same time, you can point out certain things. Szoboszlai as the 10 doesn't work because you need that final pass, which he does not have currently. Yes, defensively, he does well. Yes, he has high work rate, but the final pass is just not there for him. But today, Diaz, for me, the second finish is even more impressive than the first because the second finish was with the weak foot. Now, this is a sign of improvement, Terry. But as long as it is consistent, weak-footed goals is where I can tell, okay, you know what? In front of goal, he's getting better. Speaking of weak-footed goal, that third goal. Anyone watching right now is the biggest liar in the world. If he acts like he thought that was going to go in when Nunez shot it, you're a liar. No one thought that was going to go in. Not even Nunez himself thought it was going to go in. Not even Nunez's wife, not Nunez's children, not Nunez's family thought that was going to go in. No one thought that. But it went in. And once again, as I say for any single player, consistency is king. There's a reason why, forget the old guard, why do I defend McAllister so strongly? Because last season he was consistent for the whole year. So for me, it's just about consistency. So there will be no apologies on match week 5 or match week 10 or match week 15. At least give me half a season where you're performing well. So then I can give you some leeway. I can go like Diaz is doing well. But so far, on form, the best winger in this Premier League has been Luis Diaz. That's just on form.
So far on form, you've been proven wrong so far.
Yes, 100%. And I hope I get proven wrong till match day 38.
But that's why I wanted to call you out. That's why I wanted to call you out. Because obviously we've been long-standing friends. I'm calling you out because I know that you won't kind of try and move the goalpost. If you end up being wrong about Luis Diaz, you're like me. You want to be wrong about the poor players or the things that are not working at your club. Where with me, I'm the same. I really want to be wrong about Ten Hag. I want us to win 7-0 tonight and everyone go, you were wrong about him. Because then my team's successful. The weird people are the ones who have an opinion like, I don't think Luis Diaz is good, but then get upset when he does well. That, for me, is proof that your social media clout means more to you than your football club. And it's ironic that those people, and most of them, in fairness, don't have names and faces they show on socials. They're the same people who turn around and challenge everybody else's desire for their club to be successful. I never quite get it. It's strange. But Rack, how about yourself? I mean, I did hear I don't know what feed you were watching, but I was watching it on Satanta Sport, and their commentators kept on suggesting that Liverpool weren't very good today, that they took the chances, but Bournemouth were giving them the runaround. And I felt that was a little bit disrespectful towards Liverpool personally.
Yeah, that was a little bit too much. I think we had the same commentators that they were. I thought Bournemouth did okay. Like they could have got a goal very early on, and but for a few centimeters, a few inches, that could have been a bit of a pear-shaped start. And then all of a sudden, the crowd gets a little bit nervous and stuff like that. But it was clear it was ruled out correctly. And I think overall we took control of the game in the first half, and yeah, I think the 3-0 was justified. I would have liked to see a goal or two more if possible, but again, I'm nitpicking there. And look, Luis Diaz, I think a lot of Liverpool fans after last season had question marks. I don't think any Liverpool fan can categorically say at the end of last season they thought, you know what, Luis Diaz shoo-in for that left hand side, because his performances, and he of course had that difficult injury. That it was a question mark, but he's proving us wrong, and I hope he continues to prove us wrong. I'm happy to, like Husam said, I'm happy to be proven wrong by plays I've doubted. Gravenberch, for example, last season, I didn't see anything from him, and I had major concerns that we weren't going to see anything from him, and he was going to be a purchase. A lot of people, said that he was a Linda's purchase and all that kind of stuff, and I wondered, I couldn't see a role for him in this team. And then when people said that he was going to come in and play the six, I was even more puzzled and afraid, to be fair. But he is making me eat my words, and I am very happy that I'm eating my words. He's been exceptional. He was great against Milan the other day, and long may it continue. If he comes in and continues playing at the level he has been at the start of the season, I couldn't be happier, and I don't think any Liverpool fan could be happier.
Do you know what's really interesting? It's very early in this kind of the sort of regeneration of his position and profile. However, I am getting vibes now. Maybe only Rack on here is old enough. Maybe Husam, he's about 8 years younger than us. So what would he have been? No, he would have been pretty young then. But Rack's a similar age to me. I remember, if I just say this to you now, Steve, what position did Bastian Schweinsteiger play? What was his main position?
6.
Yeah. But when he first burst through on the scene, he was a winger, an old-fashioned winger. And when he moved into the middle, I remember listening to there was much less access to European football back then. But they were talking about this experiment that LVG was having of putting him into the 6, and I believe it was LVG, of putting him into the 6. And it was kind of scoffed at. And he started off brilliantly, and he just got better and better and better and better. And this is giving me kind of similar vibes. Now, it isn't a winger being converted into a 6, but I think the principle is the same. He hasn't just gone in and done okay. He has looked elite. And again, as a Man United fan looking, I don't want to be saying this. I want to be laughing at it. I want to say this is a disgrace. If this continues up until January, genuinely, I think you have to then look at it and say, is it worth dropping 50, 60 million on another 6? Or could you better spend that money on a right back? Could you better spend that money on a better centre forward? I mean, left back is what I meant. Sorry. So, I think, look, Gravenberch has been absolutely sensational. And it's annoying because I knew he was this good. I just think last year things were getting tired with Klopp, and we know why, because he admitted he was running out of energy. And I think the reason you're seeing Diaz and you're seeing Gravenberch getting back to their best or getting to those levels, I think is that change from Klopp to Slot has come at the absolute right time for these players in your club, if I'm being honest. I think you guys are going to have a tremendous season. I really do.
I think with
that's also why I say, you may have, sorry, Steve, you may have seen that. You may have seen that. I just didn't see enough from him last season, and I hadn't watched Gravenberch at Ajax or at Bayern, so I'm a little bit ignorant. What I did see is when the minutes that he did have on the pitch last season, I thought the majority of them were ineffective. He had glimpses, What he's doing great this season.
Rax is like me, by the way, because match day 5, he ain't gonna sit up here and overdo it, and that's just the reality.
No. I'm gonna praise him for what he's delivered. Yeah. The little things that he does, the little drops of the shoulders, the little turns that in tight spaces to help him create, or give him enough time and space
to
assess
the length of his
to either assess the situation or play a pass or play or that manipulation of the ball, manipulation of his body to give him that extra bit beyond. That's been what's really, really impressed me. And like I said, long may it continue. Well,
but Rax, here's the thing. This is where I have to just combat what Terry said. Just one bit of it, what he said that I disagree with. The whole signing the 6 part. us signing Zubimendi means having two Gravenbergs because they're very similar profiles. So essentially what you're going to have is two DMs who both can dictate tempo, who both can play out from the back, who both can carry the ball, and who both can create. So essentially what's going to happen is that 10 position is where the change will happen. Because it's funny, you mentioned players are playing better with slot. There are players who are playing worse with slot. One of them that got dropped today, Diogo Jota. He hasn't performed this season. There's no need for us to sugarcoat shit. It's still the reality. Jota is one of the players I like. He didn't perform. Szoboszlai is another one. Another example of a player where, like, okay, if before the season started, we all sat here and said, slot plays with a 10. This is the perfect opportunity for Szoboszlai. He has been someone who's been disappointed.
Yeah, maybe he just isn't good enough. The only caveat challenge I've got with the 6, I don't disagree. Maybe you buy 6. But let's just say Gravenberch maintains this level or it gets even better and becomes consistent. There is no club that can have someone at that level and a Zubimendi in the same squad because one is barely going to get game time. And I think they're both... What you may need to do is look for an alternative to a Szoboszlai who maybe isn't going to mind being on the bench a bit more, or maybe he is, and I need to learn a bit more about him.
Angel Gomes
is a bit more... No, not Angel Gomez. He's a United boy. He's coming back. He's coming home. But yeah, or someone that maybe
could we play with two, Terry? Two sixes.
Okay, if you can play with 2 6s, then maybe that certainly works.